all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
Just walk in there and, I don't know how many times I've dropped the seed on, oh yeah, you guys are gonna need to replace your system soon. Next time I'm like, how much is one? Oh, so now you've been thinking about it.
All right, guys. We got a few things that are kind of really important today, so I try to get everybody here. I'm not sure where Ryan's at right now, but okay. So first of all, hunting down some of these invoices. I talked to you guys the other day about the invoices and the whole situation Tina and I are going through. So I had to actually go into Home Depot. We have a pro account at Home Depot. And having a pro account, if you go to the pro desk and all of your transactions are done through the pro desk, I can print up receipts and I can see what they are. However, I had several things that were purchased not through the pro desk, and I didn't get a receipt. And the only way, and people at Home Depot probably see me, they're probably going to kick me out, because I went in there and first I sent Beatrice there actually. So she spun her wheels there because they wouldn't give her receipts because she didn't have the card numbers. So rather than calling me, which really I found out wouldn't have worked anyway, she came back and said, well, they wouldn't give them to me. All right, so you drove all the way down there, didn't say anything to me, came back, and that's what happened there. So I called them, tried to get the number. They said, nope, you have to come down to the store to customer service. So I drove down to El Toro Road and got in there, and I had all my receipts, dollar amounts, dates, everything. You have to have the cards. I go, I have the card numbers. You have to have the physical cards. I go, let me talk to a manager. So now I'm all upset because all they told her was, we need the card numbers. When I called them, they told me you just need the card numbers, and now I needed the physical cards. Well, I don't have the physical cards, and I've already spent enough time with this. So I got pretty upset, and I said, I need someone who's going to give me these. I'm not leaving this frickin' desk until I get my goddamn receipts, period. And I just stood there, and they got a manager, and they came over. So I pissed them off, but they gave me my receipts, or your receipts, okay? So of the ones that I got, there's still 3 of them that I have no idea exactly whose they are at this point. This one says job description truck, and it's on what was the date on this one? I think I have to look at the other page, but this one has 3/4 inch by 10 foot, 48 PSI schedule, 40 PVC, 42 gallon contractor bags. Looks like there's some treated lumber, 2x4s.
That's fine.
Great.
OC fit.
Okay, so PO numbers have to go on every single one of these guys. I can't be doing this.
That was like 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, before you told me about this whole
Okay.
PO thing.
So OC Fit, this is Brett, okay. So, this one here,
That was the Tuesday I went and cleaned it up.
3-pack utility gloves, Spring Link, 8x3 half zinc, I don't know what that is, maybe some, it looks like there's some lag thread, screws, 3/8 by 4.5 inch, $15.26. Anybody have any idea on that one?
Say it again.
Yeah, say the listen.
So 3/8 inch by 4.5 inch screws, eye lag thread, so obviously some screws. It's only 78 cents. The total is $15.26. 3-pack utility gloves, extra large.
That's me.
Okay. And then the last one that I didn't know, so it has Alex's name on it. But here's what the product is: 3/4 inch by 10 foot copper type M hard temper straight pipe.
I think I turned that receipt in.
I don't know. There's no PO on it. It just says Alex on it, so I have no idea where it goes. And the dollar amount doesn't match any POs that are in. So that's the thing is
That one is for my truck. The gloves and all that is for my truck.
Okay.
But I did turn in a receipt, so I don't know.
Yeah, if you turn in a receipt, there's no PO number, and I couldn't find out who it is. So, all right. So this one here with the copper pipe, there's also some adapters. Looks like some T's, a jar of 15, 25, 3/4 inch copper CXM adapters, 90s, 3/4 inch. There's 25 of those. This one's $135.
I'm pretty sure I sent Beatrice on that one.
Alex, it says Alex on here.
Okay. I might have sent Alex on that one, and I don't really remember what it was for.
Okay.
Well,
Just been a reason.
So I'm gonna.
you know what I think it was for? I think it was for the roof, the Tustin job. And,
See fit?
Those see fit?
yeah,
And they have to go back and do the drains?
right, because we had to redo the drains.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Alright,
Oh,
alright guys, so I can't reiterate enough.
all that copper stuff was sounding familiar. I'm like,
So Kevin told me, yesterday, he's like, he has a receipt, puts it on the desk, and he says, the great idea that I think Mike said, taking a picture of it, right? Whoever said that the other day. Having a picture of it as a backup in the file is nice, but here's what you guys have to understand. The only way for me to see that, if you don't put a PO in, so if you put a PO in and put the picture in, that helps. If you just put a picture in, that does nothing for me. Absolutely zero. Because then the only way that I can find the receipt is go through every job you went through, go through every receipt, print them, put POs in. I mean, it's like 10 times the work. I can't do that. I don't have the time in a day.
You're a Home Depot Pro member, right?
Yes.
If you download the app, it keeps track of all the receipts.
It only does if you go to the Pro Desk.
No, it does right here.
Okay, so I went there and I
Store
have a Pro
receipt
account.
number, tells me the store.
I have a Pro account.
I do
Brett.
too. I have that too.
Okay, but when all of these receipts were not on the Pro account.
Yeah.
They were not on there. I could not print them. I could not see them. And I went and I asked them, and they said, if they don't go to the Pro Desk, it doesn't go on your Pro account.
But if you purchase it with the same card that you use for the Pro account, it goes to your Pro account online.
Didn't. I'm telling you, it didn't. I wouldn't have gone down there and spent all the time I did. It was not there. So I had to go into the store and do what I did. Okay? So we only use 2 credit cards, and they're both attached to the Pro account. And so that's how it has to work. The other thing is you guys cannot use your own cards anymore to buy anything. If it's a simple emergency, like you have to go get gas or something like that, and you can turn in a receipt like that, that's fine. Don't go get oil changes and tire things or vehicle stuff done in your cars. Put it on your card and turn it in as a reimbursement. We need to let us deal with that with our card so it stays in our account, because then we can see everything through the account and match everything up. All right?
So like a last minute part, like if it's late, we can buy like a $5.
Yeah, if you're gonna buy something really inexpensive to get a last minute, it's after hours, you can't get a hold of somebody, I'm not expecting you to do that.
Yeah.
But if you go to the Pro Desk and they call me, it's really easy. If you can't do something, there's gonna be times you're not gonna be able to do that, I get it. That's not gonna be a rare situation. But I don't want people just going and using their own cards and then turning in receipts and going through all that. Okay, so I just need you guys to do your very best to go to the Pro Desk only and use our Pro account. That way I don't have to worry about going and getting receipts that don't get turned in also.
So, quick question, like, let's just say we've got, we'll just say $130 in materials. We're trying, everyone's busy, but we're at the Pro Desk. Can we go ahead and use our card then? Because it will show on your account. At least the receipts will be on the Home Depot
Yeah,
Pro Desk.
at the very least, if you can't get a hold of anybody in a situation, but I'd rather you use our account.
Right.
Okay,
It's
so
a lot
then
better to use our account.
Well,
because
here's the
because
QuickBooks.
when you use our account, it also goes it goes directly into QuickBooks, and then I can match things. Rather than having to go look
Creates a
for
lot of
something.
labor for us on the back end of the
And we're not good at QuickBooks yet.
It takes forever.
Yeah. So I need you guys to try to use our account, use our the Pro. Make sure you do the Pro Desk. Don't go into the regular lines, and call us. The only way you can use your own cards if there's some kind of special emergency, or if you have to get gas or whatever. That type of thing I can deal with. So when I was talking to you guys last week also, and I've already talked to a couple of you guys, there's receipts that were not put in purchase orders. So that means you got paid on jobs, some of them large jobs, that didn't have that receipt in it. And I have several, and I can talk to you, I'll just tell you who I'm gonna talk to, because I've already talked to Mike and Jesse on theirs. Some of them were entered in as just the amount was wrong. Like for an example, instead of 30 cents, it was 80 cents. So the actual PO was in there, and it just wouldn't match up with us, so we had to figure that out. That is, if you want to take the picture of it, or if you turn the receipt in, then I have no problem, I can match them up. Okay, so that's not a big deal. but here's one for, you know, $8. So Sarah, there's a few of them in here for you. Some of them are small, and then only one of them, I think one of them is large. And it was like $2,300. And that was on, but we entered it in there, and I can go over those with you so you can see them, because I know you're pretty much on your money. You know
Yeah,
what
I'm
is and
pretty sure I
isn't.
got charged for all that.
No, I'm positive you didn't.
100%.
I'm positive you didn't. I'll show them to you.
$2,300.
Yep. What that was the job.
Tankless. Probably a tankless. Now I got
Okay,
charged for
it says, here's what it was. It was, all kinds of, looks like copper, tons of copper stuff. I'm trying to see if there's a tankless. Yeah, there's a tankless on
Now I
here.
got charged for that.
Tankless valve, 193. I'll show you.
Because I put it all on there.
I'll show you. We'll go over it. I know how you like to go over your stuff, but I got in some PVC stuff, all kinds of stuff in here. This one wasn't entered. It was $125. That was just an error in the dollar amount. There's a couple of them that didn't. Galen missed a couple. And there was this. I also talked about this, and I'm just going to reiterate it again. And I talked to Sarah about it already. Just make sure when you guys get stuff at somewhere, you're not putting two different jobs, products for two different jobs on one invoice, okay? Because that makes it difficult too. I got to split it up, split the tax up, and the numbers don't match. So that's just make sure we do that as well, please. This one is in the system. It's not in the system. Yeah, and Mike, I talked to you about yours.
Yes.
And then Ryan, there was no PO in the system. This one's $187 for that board I talked to you about, asked you about yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so those are those, but I'll go over that with you. I think the only one I really need to go over is I talked to Ryan, I talked to Mike, I talked to Jesse, and I'll show Sarah what that is. Okay, so.
That wasn't even like my job.
The next thing is plumber reports, before I get into this podium training. On plumber's reports, the thing that we had one yesterday, and it was, you know, Sarah did the job a year ago. I mean, a year and 4 months ago, right? So it's really difficult to do a plumber's report. Let's say you're not here anymore, and someone asks for a plumber's report a year later, or an insurance company. We really need to make sure you guys are putting good notes in and a good description of the work that you did and why on things like that, especially floods and, you know, issues that we're dealing with, not just a normal service call where you're just changing out parts. There was one that was a drain job, and we had to go in to take some stucco, it looks like, put a clean out in because we couldn't clear a kitchen drain, so then we ended up jetting it after we put the fitting in and all this. And I don't know why they're going to their insurance company on it, it's like a year and a half later almost, but, you know, all I saw in there is I saw the work that we did, and I did see we did stucco, and that's what they're asking about, is what work did we do that required stucco repair or stucco being opened up and all of this. You know, we need to make sure we have really good notes in there, because, you know, I got someone told me the other day, one of the CSRs, they said, oh, Sarah's customer needs a plumber's report. And I talked to Sarah, and she just said, talk to Alan. I said, well, what job is it? And they said, you know, they gave me the name, and I said, well, okay, what did we do? And I'm looking in there, and I'm trying to make sure I need to understand all of the stuff. Like, so on a plumber's report, what you have to put in there is what happened, what caused it, you know, more information, not just this is the work I did. So for an example, if you go in there and there's water coming from the upstairs bathroom through the walls into the bedroom and then into the garage caused by a toilet overflowing, and these are the parts that failed. You know, there was a sudden failure of the fill valve, stuck, overflowed the tank. You know, basically you want to put as much information about what happened in your professional opinion into the notes, so that if I have to go in there and do a plumber's report, I can really see when I arrived on site, this is what I saw. Water was overflowing. They had the water turned off, but as soon as I turned the water on, toilet started overflowing again, caused, you know, water going down into this bedroom, into the garage, whatever. Hall bathroom, is it the master bathroom? As much information as you can put in there, knowing that it's probably an insurance claim if there's a flood, right? If there's some kind of issue like that. So I'd appreciate you guys doing that, because if you're not here or I can't get a hold of you and I've got to do one, it makes it a lot easier for me just to look in there, read the notes, and then I can pretty much do it without having to contact you and bug you out in the field. Okay? So I appreciate you guys doing that. All right, so the next thing is Podium. I heard that Brett at least knows what Podium is. Have you guys heard of Podium? Any of you guys? All right, so you all should have received an email in your work email inviting you to Podium. All right, and then we're gonna have to download an app and use it. This is a training that I'm gonna kind of have us go through real quick. Basically what it does though is it allows us to get reviews from customers, and it does a couple of things. It also works in conjunction with Service Titan. So Kevin had a lady call me, and I went through the training with her and kind of saw what it is. But basically, rather than having a customer have to sign up for a Yelp account or whatever, it's a way we just put their name in, we put their phone number in, and it texts them the invite, so to speak, and then they basically can do a review right then and there from that.
They still have to set up an account.
Yeah. Well, the account, I'll show you. They don't have to do anything major at all. It's really simple.
People are looking for a business like yours right now. They're not your customers yet, but they're going to be somebody's. What's going to make them choose you today and choose you again tomorrow?
Can you full screen that?
Podium is an interaction management platform that puts you decades ahead of your competition at every stage of the customer journey, helping you win more leads, earn repeat customers, and do more as a team. The best part? Every lead from Google, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and more come to the same easy-to-use inbox, so you can manage it all from one platform, making every interaction as easy as sending a quick message. From here, you can answer questions, schedule appointments, send pictures and videos, and close the deal, all by messaging back and forth with customers on the channels that they prefer. Give each interaction a personal touch, or use automated messages and ready-to-send templates for some of the more routine stuff. With Podium Web Chat, leads who end up on your website can connect the exact same way. It starts as a simple button on your site that immediately takes the conversation to text, giving both of you the flexibility you need to keep the conversation going, turning more clicks into customers. After you've created modern, convenient experiences, capitalize by collecting hundreds of customer reviews. Just like everything else in Podium, it's as easy as sending a quick message. Your customers simply tap the link in the message and leave a review, all in less than 30 seconds, making you the obvious choice on the sites that matter most. Businesses that create convenient experiences from start to finish get more business. You'll turn more leads into customers and more customers into customers for life. And whatever your business, having more customers on your side means more of a good thing for everyone, except your competitors.
Okay, so they're gonna walk us through how
When
we
your
log
team
in
here
and
adds
all
you
that
to
good stuff.
Podium, we'll send you an email. Click the link in the email to create your password. If you can't find the email, try checking your spam folder. Or go to podium.com, select the login button, and select here to get help signing in. Once you create your password, you're ready to sign in. Your username will be the email or phone number associated with your Podium account. If you still need help logging in or navigating your Podium account, you can click on the chat bubble to get help from our support team.
So that's gonna go on your iPad, guys. That's how you wanna do
How
that.
to use Messenger. Messenger is a communication tool that helps you gather leads, interact with customers, and build lasting relationships. We'll show you how to do each of those things on a desktop or on a mobile device. Plus, we'll give you some easy tips for managing your inbox. Gathering leads. Messenger makes your business easy to connect with, no matter where potential customers are coming from. They can reach you through text messaging, Google Click to Chat, Podium Web Chat, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram. Anytime you have a new lead, it will go to your open inbox. Click to view the message to see where it's coming from and see any previous conversation history. To respond to the message, type here and click Send. You can also use a template by clicking here. To respond to the message in the mobile app, type here and click Send. You can also use a template by clicking here. Sending an outgoing message. Podium's Messenger tool is also where you'll interact and build relationships with your current customers. To start a new message on a desktop, select the location you want to send the message from here. If you only have one location, you can skip this step. Next, click Compose Message. Then enter the customer's name and phone number, type your message, then click Send. To start a new message on the mobile app, select the location you want to send the message from here. Next, click here. Then enter the customer's name and phone number, type your message, then click Send. Managing messages. You can keep your Podium inbox organized by categorizing all of your conversations as open or closed. If a conversation is open, it's still active. If a conversation is closed, that means it's archived. To move a conversation from open to closed on a desktop, click here. On the mobile app, click here. This will move the conversations into your closed inbox. Conversations in closed will never be deleted, and you can always search and view previous conversations. You can reopen a conversation by clicking Open here. Assigning a conversation. If you need someone else on your team to respond to a message, you can assign the conversation to them. Just click here, then select their name. To reassign a conversation on the mobile app, click here. Then click here. As soon as you assign it, your team member will receive an email or mobile notification letting them know that they need to respond. Editing customer information. To edit your customer's name, click here. In the mobile app, click here. Click the menu at the top, then click Edit Contact Details. Managing notifications. To update your notification preferences on a desktop, go to My Account. Under Notification Preferences, you can select which updates you want, how often you want to receive them, and where you want to receive them. On the mobile app, click the Settings gear in the bottom navigation, then click Notifications. Sending a review invitation. As you interact with your current customers, make sure you ask them to leave an online review. This will help more people find and choose your business over the competition. To send a review invitation link in a current conversation, click the Add Review Invite button. To send a review invitation in a new conversation, click here. Enter your customer's name and mobile phone number, select Review Invitation, then click Send. The review invitation. Once you send a review invitation through Podium, your customer will receive a text message. This is what the text message will look like to your customer. Once they click the link in the text message, a browser will open on their phone. Usually, the message starts by asking your customer if they want to leave a review on Google. Most review sites, including Google and Facebook, require users to have an account to leave a review. If your customer is not logged in, Podium will prompt them to log in before they can leave a review. If your customer doesn't have an account with that review site or they forgot their password, they can still leave a review on a different site or text their feedback. If they select yes, they will be taken directly to the ratings page on your Google listing. All your customer has to do is select the number of stars, leave a comment, and click Post. Reading your reviews. Use the Podium website to see all of your reviews in one place. Click here in the menu, and you'll see a list of everything your customers are saying about you across all of your review sites. You can go even deeper by searching within the reviews or filtering results by reviews you requested. Checking the leaderboard. How do you compare to your coworkers? Click here, and we'll show you where you rank.
No
You can see
leaderboard.
who has talked to the most customers and who is getting the most reviews. You're given credit if you are mentioned in a review or if you sent that customer a review invitation from Podium. If a credit needs to be added or changed, let your team leader know. They can update the leaderboard to ensure that it's accurate. Reviews best practices. Podium has helped thousands of businesses get more reviews. There are 2 time-tested practices we recommend that yield the best results. First, focus on timing. Send the text message while the customer is still with you so they can leave a review then and there. You might have a natural point where this makes sense, like when you're scheduling their next appointment or processing their paperwork. Just make sure you don't wait too long, because the longer you wait, the less motivated your customer will be to share their great experience with others. Second, communicate. Let your customer know you're sending them a text and explain why leaving a review will help you. How many reviews can you expect to receive? The better you communicate and the better your timing, the more reviews you'll receive. If you don't communicate with your customer about the review, and if you send it after they leave, only about 5% of them will leave reviews. If you tell your customer about the review invitation, but send it after they leave, about 10% of them will leave reviews. If you communicate with your customer about the review invitation and send it while they're in your store, about 15% of them will leave reviews. You'll also get about a 15% response if you ask customers to mention you by name in their reviews.
Okay. So anybody who wants me to send, I know Ryan had a hard time seeing it, so maybe some of you guys did as well. I can send you the link to this training to your emails, so you can always just go through them.
Yeah, you should probably send it all.
I'll just send it to all you guys. If you want to look at it, you can. If you don't have to. But that way you can, at your own time, just kind of go through it and say, okay, hey,
It
make sure I
was
get
quick.
this.
Like every time I'd say, just click here.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sitting there
It's
looking
doing
for
a little
something to
quick
happen,
thing, and yeah,
I see nothing happen. It just changes. I'm like,
yeah.
what the heck just happened?
So you get the basic idea from this, but I'll send you guys a link so you can see it. I mean, it won't go any bigger on my screen, but that way you guys can look at it. So I did invite everybody. So I put all your guys' emails and stuff in the work email, so you should have all that.
Is this whole thing just to receive more reviews?
It does a couple of things. It also allows us
Customer interaction.
customer interaction. So in other words, like when you send them that link, they're basically going to be able to communicate to you. Let's say, for an example, you left an estimate, right? You can follow up via text on their phone rather than having to call them and follow up all that way. You can text them and say, hey, did you get my estimate that I just sent it to you? Let me know. Da 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 da. There can be interaction between you and them constantly, and it's attached to Service Titan in a way where
We can follow it.
yeah. So you guys are able to communicate with the customer on estimates, on whatever else, and our goal is to get as many reviews, because if they go to Facebook or to Google, it's gonna bring us up in the rankings when people are looking for plumbing, heating, and air in the area. So it's a way of, rather than having to say, oh, you have a Google account, can you go into Google and sign in and do this and do that? You send them the invite, it comes to them, they're gonna look at their phone, because I guess what they're saying is a lot of people are, many more people are, when it comes to emails, they're just exiting out or making it spam or whatever, they're seeing stuff. But when they get a text from somebody, they're paying a lot more attention. So 15%, if we let them know right then when we're doing it, I just sent you the thing to review me, please put my name in it, there's a 15% chance you're gonna get that person to give you a review.
We'll probably have a higher percentage if the people actually use their phones.
Yeah.
The
So-
percentage increases if you're under 45, pretty much. Like anybody,
Yeah,
all
true.
older people, they don't do any of this stuff for you.
But if you ask for it, guys, that's the key. Number one, it's hard enough to ask
No, it's
somebody.
common.
It's hard enough to ask somebody to go on Yelp and all that crap if they don't have a Yelp review, or they're not doing it as much anymore as they used to. Because you got to go in, you got to have it on your phone. People change phones. This, if they have an account, even if they don't have a Google account, they're going to most likely have a Facebook account.
Everyone's got
So we'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take whatever, right? I mean, we want to get close to a 5. Realistically, if we use this thing on a regular basis to every one of our customers, we can get to a 5, both on Google and on Facebook, a lot sooner than the way we were trying to do it before, which really wasn't working. So this costs us money, so we need to use it. Okay, this is like a marketing thing that we're doing to try to help boost us up through. Because you know what? Here's the thing, guys, and I know this seems kind of silly, but when you go in, right now, I've been doing things with another company for marketing that we're talking about doing. When they look us up and we're a 4.3 or a 3.5 on Yelp, right? So it depends on how they go and look us up. If they go on Google or Facebook, we're getting closer to 5s. We're in the 4.3, 4.5. You go to Yelp and we're at a 3.5 because we're not getting enough Yelp reviews to bring those up.
Because people don't log into Yelp. Like
They don't log in like they used to, and we have a couple of those things
They look at
that.
it for updates, but
I
they
got
don't
one
actually log
yesterday,
in.
or the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
So but people care about those reviews. They care about someone who's 3.5 compared to 5. When you go on there now and you type in plumbing, heating, and air in Irvine, right? Or plumbing in Irvine. There's an ad first. There's like 6, 7 people that have ads that are all gonna be on there first, and then they're gonna start listing everybody else, and they're gonna show their stars. So even if you're number one on the top, because you have a lot more reviews and you're higher up on top, if you have a 3.5, but the guy below you has a 5, they're gonna skip right by you. They're gonna go right to the guy who has a 5-star review, right? Especially if they have a lot of reviews. You know, it depends on how savvy you are. But again, you're right, the millennials are a lot more savvy, and they'll look at that more than some of the older people will. Okay? So it really is up to you guys. For us to get busy, we have to do everything we can, and this is one of the things that we can do to help us get up in the rankings. Okay? So please, you know, accept your Podium app, and let's get in there and start using it. We can use it as of today. So I'll send that link to you guys all as well, so when you have time, if you want to look at it when you're sitting around in between jobs or whatever, take a look at it. You saw it was only a few minutes. It's not a real long thing. And then that way you can really know how to use it and embrace it. Okay? Kevin?
One of the other things that's really important in reviews, so you know what happened to a lot of our call volume. We were with Angie's List, and we had some 300 reviews. We were award winners, we were this, we were that.
Right.
And then Home Advisor bought that shit, okay?
Okay.
And I didn't own those reviews.
Right.
Angie's List owns those reviews, right?
Right.
So I was paying Angie's List about 20 grand a year, and that was reasonable to me because the volume of calls we were getting.
Right.
Well, when Home Advisor bought that shit, they changed the whole thing to where now I gotta pay per call, and 5 out of 6 calls were no good. So I was paying
Right.
$60 a call. So it was $300 per lead.
Right.
Well, you can see I was quickly going broke by using Home Advisor. So that really impacted my company significantly because what I had worked for years and years and years got wiped away.
Yeah.
Just completely wiped away. So, so these reviews we own, basically, unless Google goes out of business or changes their format or something like that. Same thing with Facebook, you know. So we are in the process of rebuilding our reputation. One of the things, by the way, because a lot of times the people who are savvy, when they look at these reviews, like right now, I think on Google we're, you know, 4.5, yeah.
4.3, yeah.
4.3, okay. But we only have 30, it's a good number, it's not a bad number.
Like 30%.
35.
But we have 30-some reviews, right? So a company smaller than ours in Utah, I was talking to a lady, she goes, yeah, I'll show you, and she took me online, she showed me their account. She goes, they started with us 6 months ago. They had about 30 reviews as well. And they're smaller companies, so they run a lot less calls than you. They're over 90 now in 6 months. So, you know, they went up 60-some% in reviews, right? So with the call volume that we have, which is higher than that company, we should be able to hit over 100 reviews. And when you have over 100 reviews, that's telling you that there's a level of consistency there. And you know, people want the path of least resistance. They work hard for their money, and they don't want to make a mistake. So picture that number of over 100 reviews. Picture that as a restaurant you drive by and you see a line out the door. What are you thinking
Right.
when you see a line out the door?
Most probably got good stuff.
Yeah,
Whatever they're doing is worth waiting in line for, so it's got to be good.
exactly. And I saw that the other day. I went. I got invited to a nightclub with a relative of mine, and my wife and I, we went out there, and we saw this line, this Japanese restaurant in Tustin. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? You know, like people waiting and then they're sitting on floors and shit, you know. And I'm
It's
like,
gotta be something good.
yeah.
Whatever it is, gotta be good.
Well, I found out that it's the #1 rated sushi bar in Orange County,
Jim?
period.
Cool.
Yeah, and I was like, holy crap. And they're like, yeah, it's a big thing just to get in there, you know.
Well, now Ryan's gonna go.
Yeah. but, and I haven't been there yet, but
I'll
dang.
tell you all about it.
I haven't forgotten, yeah, I haven't forgotten about
Send you
that place,
spotlight.
right?
Yeah.
But that's,
I'm just going to Hibachi.
that's the social evidence that people are looking at, you know, the social evidence, everybody's voting out there, it's a vote, if you will.
Yeah.
And they're just saying, well, if everybody's voting, I'm in, you know.
Mhm.
There's, so that removes a significant barrier to people calling us. So this is why this is really, really important, that we really, really focus. You guys are doing an outstanding job of keeping customers happy, trust me. Because I hear the feedback all the time. We just really haven't had a good way to get that to translate into reviews. And I think this is going to have a significant impact. First time I saw it, I said, Alan, we got to do this. You know, and then he saw it, and then he's like, yeah, we got to do this.
The chick that we just did the hydraulic system for.
Yeah.
Send that to her.
Yeah.
She wants the whole neighborhood to know about us.
Yeah, she's all over it.
Because
Yeah.
did you hear what the leak was?
No.
The leak was literally Sarah found it. It was a place we hadn't even touched. It was actually
Piping in the attic.
it naturally sprung up while we were there.
Because we turned the water on it.
Or-
That's what she
That's what I
said. Yeah.
told her.
Yeah, or it happened before
It's the
that.
same.
I'm
Lost
actually
air in the line,
what I
whatever.
noticed is it wasn't leaking
No.
until you bled the line of all the air.
Mhm.
So I bet that probably contributed to having air in the line initially.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just sat there. She's like, "Really?" We're like, "Yeah." We showed it to her. She's like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, because
that
Iggy went
neighborhood's
up there.
a gold mine.
Iggy went up there.
When you
found-
have-
took a picture of it.
When you have
showed her.
neighbors neighbors tackling you when you're just parked there.
Yeah.
People walking up to you. Hey.
I
You know,
just-
it's like
I gave
Yeah.
out 6 flyers
That's
to
like
people who came up to me.
Sandpiper Lane all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly
yeah.
They were practically tackling us and trying to drag us into their places
Yeah.
and look at
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys can make like flyers like.
Well,
you did for
they're
Looking at
ready
Ranch,
today, I think.
They're actually getting picked
I'll
up
go.
today.
Oh yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
hand them out there. 'Cause
Yeah.
people are like.
Oh, yeah.
I'll happily go say
And
hello
you'll
to
just
everyone.
Yeah, you'll go out there, pass it out, and people will start talking to you.
Yeah.
And you'll wind up with jobs. I know Ryan wound up with several installs on a job like that, where
Yeah.
he was just passing out flyers and people were walking up to him.
That
Yeah,
was,
I had at
uh,
least 4 people.
That
I
wasn't
used in insults.
Sandpiper, that was the other,
That was
the other
it. What's her
property.
name's
The
house?
one off Oso?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was the other property that we flyered.
That's the
He
one
was
where
getting dragged
Sarah
left
was
and
there
right.
for a minute too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this one's even better because I talked to the association yesterday,
I said, no,
and they're like,
okay.
"Oh no, they own 100% of that property,
Yeah.
and we don't do anything at all.
And
And
all
no,
of their,
we have
all
no
their water
intentions-
lines are
We have
are
no
separate, too.
intentions of repiping or doing anything with them, so have at it."
Yeah.
That's basically what they told me.
Yeah.
Be
They
our
gave you
guest.
carte blanche.
And we had we had
Go
3
for
people
it.
walk up at least as we were like moving things in and out of the house.
Mhm.
We were just having people randomly like, do you guys
Yeah, and then she's gonna
are
replace
you guys do
their
like the
HOA
water,
system.
the water and the heating and the air? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would just bring Kevin over there. Kevin, he's actually like Kalka. He's Kalka. He's Kevin Kalka. You're like, yeah, I can kind of make my own. We'll be good on the pricing. I'll figure a way to make it work.
So anyways, but we're gonna come up with more of those neighborhoods. We have a lot of them. We're gonna start nailing all them because now it's the heating season. So we're gonna be hitting them twice a year. You know, beginning of heating season, beginning of cooling season, and on this one, just pretty much all year long with the plumbing.
Yeah.
So that neighborhood is
one.
radioactive, needs to be
No one's
replaced.
touched
Yeah.
No one's touched it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
What kind of water
That's
treatment systems would you recommend on the hydronic stuff? Like
Well,
a heater treater type setup?
Well, if you're looking, I'd go whole house.
Okay.
You know, just because in the end it's cheaper. When Sarah's really good at this, but she'll show a customer how these filter changes, you know, the cartridge changes over the years. You could have had a whole house system and protected your whole house, you know. So
Yeah, like an RO, you know, if they just want an RO, it's like we should definitely do a whole house and we can always add an RO.
mhm,
But when you're just investing in just an RO, you're spending a lot of money just for that kitchen.
mhm.
Because every year that cartridge change, plus the install, you're at $2,000 in the first year.
Mhm.
Easy. right around there with angle stops and everything. And then
Yeah.
even like Culligan and all of that, yeah, so
Mhm.
that's easy to like kind of.
So anyway, yeah, this is the right
I'm like ready to
neighborhood.
sell everybody.
Uh,
I'm gonna start in here.
Yeah, so anyway,
How do I get rid of the chloramines
Yeah.
in my home?
Yeah.
And into the rabbit hole we go.
so we got that neighborhood, we're gonna go ahead and nail it today. So that'll automatically just pick up the volume right there.
Yeah.
So,
Those townhouses, because of where the main is, we really should be hitting them up for the repipe before we even talk filter. Because
Oh, yeah.
you would have to move the plumbing
oh yeah,
way over to the garage anyways.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't even talk to her about a filter yet, because I was already thinking about that, like.
Yeah.
She's gonna have to repipe before she even thinks about putting in a filter, because we'll be doing so much.
and that's the focus, and
Right.
frankly, it's too much of a distraction. You know, as far
Right.
you start adding these things.
You have to focus, and then while we're like starting the job, hey, we're ready to do a pipe.
I hardly ever sell IAQ until after I sold the furnace or the
Right.
air conditioner or anything like that. You know, it's typical that I'll try to do it as an add-on
Right,
after I got a sun check.
right.
Well, yeah, like you've always said, you secure the repair before you secure any add-ons.
Yeah.
If the furnace is what's bad, you wanna replace the furnace. And then at that point, you can open up the discussion for air conditioners, IAQ, vents. You can start opening up more avenues once
Oh, yeah.
you've secured what is broken.
Right.
If
Right.
the compressor's bad, they aren't gonna care about the igniter on their furnace.
Yep.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's kind of what I
But
did with this
sometimes
one.
with those houses, like, if they didn't wanna do a repipe, then I would kinda tell them, like, any house. If they like really didn't wanna do a repipe, I'd be like, well, you at least need a filter. But see, in these houses, the way that they're all set up, you would kinda have to do the repipe first.
There's no
Because you
access
can't
to
even
the
just
main.
like, oh, well, if you're not gonna do the repipe, you gotta do a filter, you know? Cause some houses, you know, they're not even trying to like do any of that, they're like, oh, I'm not even gonna do a repipe, I don't want anybody cutting holes, this and that. Oh, these try to sell them like, well, then you need a filter, you need something to protect your pipes until you decide, you know, to prolong them.
Mm-hmm.
But that house,
you need a fin.
you would have to do the repipe.
Yeah.
Even the fin would be a little bit
Well, yeah,
sketchy
if
because of
you're-
where their main is.
Yeah, from a.
And, well, the fin would be something like, again, an add-on that I would say, once you sell the repipe, then you go in and you explain what the
Right.
fin does. It's not just for pinhole leaks or whatever, it's also for your toilet running or toilet overflowing, like Sarah just went to one. You can use those real-life examples as saying, hey, I was just at a house that flooded out from the upstairs to the downstairs because the fill valve in the toilet stuck.
Those
On.
are the best examples.
Those are the, it's a
life
real-life
ones.
example, it really happened, and you let them know what happened. And
Even
if
if
that
you
were to happen,
exaggerate
the
it.
fin would shut your water off.
Yeah, even if you kind of blow it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
if it's real life, then now they can relate to it.
Exactly.
Now it's
Well-
relatable, now it's like, whoa, that could have been me.
Relating to the hydronics community, because obviously they have quite a different set of issues. You get a pinhole leak in that coil while you're gone, you're not gonna
done.
know about it because the unit's up in the ceiling.
Yep.
You're not gonna know about it, it's gonna collect in
Mhm.
that tray, and then all of a sudden, that tray's gonna be leaking. So you're gonna come home to a mess, and it's not gonna be like a catastrophic flood, maybe it's just a little tiny spray pinhole. But still, it's gonna collect in that access door, and then
Could cause mold, could cause all kinds of,
it could go on for
Major issues,
months
yeah.
before you even notice it.
Yeah, that
And the
can
fin
be-
can detect something like that.
Yep.
Or it'd be like, hey, this isn't right. And then, I think the fin's smart enough to even text us.
it'll text the customer, if they want it to text us, if they want it to go to us, it'll go to us as well.
Yeah, you can have.
You can have it do that.
If you want.
And that's all part of the app setup, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't put an 1.25" fin on 1.5" pipe, huh, Kevin?
But
No, but here's what you do, real quickly.
Because the flow
Here's-
logic is
Here's
like,
your, yeah, I know.
they're
Here-
killing
here's,
us on those.
here's your main,
They're not
right?
even that good.
So what you do is you put a T here and a T here, okay?
Right,
And then you come in and you put your fin here, okay? And right here, you have a ball valve.
okay,
Okay, so you keep this guy closed. So you're going 1.5" into 1.25". And then, okay, but follow this. If you ever get into a situation where it's low volume, you tell the customer, go open that valve if you have high occupancy rate.
bypass it.
And then when
So
you
create a
open that
bypass?
valve, it's automatically gonna bypass.
So why don't we just do that for a lot of applications?
Well,
Because I'm even
But
thinking
you,
about that other
but you
house.
have to let the homeowner know.
Know
Now,
about the
I
bypass.
did that with what's her name?
Yeah.
And I explained it
Didn't
to
want
her,
that?
and she
And it's
goes,
only
no.
because she doesn't wanna have to go out there, but
Exactly.
chances of them
She's,
even
she's a
having to do
property
that.
manager and yada, yada, yada.
'Cause
Now,
the fence is
now,
so much better. And
Exactly,
that's the logic, and they're
exactly.
charging us double.
I
And you
explained
know,
it,
your heart's not with the fence. You're like, dude, I mean, with the logic. You're
Right.
like, this thing sucks. I know this one's better.
you know it,
That's what
right?
sucks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had the same different, same situation, different customer,
Mhm.
Alan, Sellers. I already sold him one in his house,
Sweet.
which
And
was
it inch and a
fine.
half?
It was inch and a quarter.
Oh,
So, but now he has another property over by Joni Trempola's that he rents out,
right.
right? It's inch and a half. And I explained that to him, and he was like, well, I might wanna wait until they come out with the new one.
Right.
Once he got his fin hooked up, he was like, he goes, yeah,
It's the best.
I'm gonna do it at the other property, I'm not gonna wait, he basically said. We'll go ahead and do the bypass.
Because the chances of them even having to bypass it is like,
Uh-huh.
they would have to be having like a party or something, or like a
Right.
bunch of people staying over, and even then.
5 showers at the
Unless
same
they're running
time.
Yeah.
showers all at the same time,
Right.
and the washing
Unless you're
machine.
renting out different
Yeah.
rooms to 7 different people, then you're.
Well,
They're
even-
not even gonna have to bypass it, it's just.
This guy,
nice.
this guy is, he's an older gentleman, he's older than me, but he's a pretty successful guy. Obviously, he owns 2 homes, one on the golf course and one by Joni's house
They're both.
that he
Yeah.
rents out. But, you know, he's got his
Well,
own
that's just a
business.
side property.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
worry about that.
But he's a techie, sharp guy.
Oh,
And
those
he,
guys love it.
he just goes, man, he goes, this is one of the best products I've seen come out in a long
One of the best
time.
plumbing products.
He goes,
for
I am
sure, dude.
so excited about this product.
I'm sold on it.
Yeah,
I would
and
put
it's-
one in my house.
So people who get
I
it,
want one.
man, they just like, bam, you know, this is amazing technology.
It
Yeah,
is. It's so smooth too. It's just like everything else nowadays. It's just one device, very simple, but does so much. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Where the
it's a big deal.
logic-
It's a real big deal.
Yeah.
And it's just that, you know, those early adapters. He's an early adapter. He's
Right.
one of those guys
Mhm.
that he's
He wants to
fine
be
with
ahead
getting the
of the game.
first one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some people want to wait, and eventually
Some
everyone's
people wait,
gonna put it in.
but eventually everybody will have one.
That's what I'm telling people too. I'm like, eventually.
so
everyone's
quick
gonna have
question on that. It's probably something we're gonna have to ask Finn. Do they integrate with building management software?
They're, okay,
one. That would go commercial. Commercial.
no, no,
Commercial and
there's,
smart home.
yeah, smart homes.
Oh.
Yeah, smart
Yeah.
home is a big
Nexia,
one.
Z-Wave.
Yeah.
I'm not
Zigbee,
sure,
yeah.
I'm not sure yet, but they are telling us that you can now put these on businesses,
So they probably.
which they told us not to do before.
Which they, means they probably integrate with BMS or Tritium or
Yeah.
one
They're-
of those softwares.
So every month we have a meeting, so we all get on the phone and we talk about our experiences and what's going on in the field and everything else. So I'll bring that question up.
Because I'll keep it short, but the way that everything's going with technology is the commercial world is on building and energy management software. I mean, literally, you can open it up on your tablet and you can shut down lights, you can
Mhm.
set schedules, you can set your HVAC equipment, your ventilators, you can pretty much control the entire building from a phone.
Yep.
That technology is here
Mhm.
for residential, but it's not.
Mhm.
It's not at the level of integration that
Right,
commercial.
that is on buildings, right?
Right. We have Z-Wave, we have Zigbee, we
Yeah.
have Wi-Fi, but
Because even like the.
they have entire programs that can control boilers, dampeners,
Yep.
VRVs, and traditional HVAC systems all together.
Mhm.
If we can find out what technology pairs, what works, then we can really start taking over. Like a place like Joni Trempola's, we're limited on our options without a large capital investment right now because Tritium's really the only thing that we can do.
Mhm.
And Tritium alone is $2,500 plus each individual unit needs its own controller, that's another $300 each. And we've gotta run wires.
Yeah.
Closest thing is Nexia or Z-Wave, which Honeywell 8000 series, I think, is a Z-Wave. But even then, we're limited.
So if you did connect the fin to like one of those.
To a building
home-
management?
Yeah, what would that do for that?
Well, the benefit is, especially if it's a rental property, is the property management can control multiple properties with building automation.
You can control up to 6 units now.
Okay,
Yeah, from your app, I believe,
okay.
on your phone.
And it just gives the end user control of, hey, that unit's not being rented right now, I can shut it down.
Right.
And then they can shut down the AC, they can shut down the boiler, they can shut down, probably eventually water heaters are gonna probably.
All on one
All in
software,
one
got it,
software.
instead of going into the Fin app,
You can lock or unlock
Right.
doors, you
And-
can,
going all these different
And then
apps.
going to the next.
Yeah.
One mega.
No, I've had
One
people
smart home.
literally,
Yeah, one big, yeah.
I've had people open their garage doors when they weren't home. They just,
Yeah,
yeah,
Smiths.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
do, do,
Emily
do, do.
Smith.
Yeah,
and the
Garage
front
door opens
up.
Don't they
Yeah,
have
all the
those
time.
big
Yeah.
locks?
yeah. I've had them just sit there and be like, yeah,
Which
call me if
those
you need the
ones are
garage door
compatible
open.
with
Okay,
this
cool.
app.
You get there, you
Someone
call them,
else,
and all of a sudden
Z-Wave.
it starts
Yeah,
opening,
you
you're like,
can
okay,
The
cool.
new ones with your.
I watched
they're
a commercial
unlocking
about
It's really neat.
this, I don't know if you guys seen this commercial, but this guy, you know, he's like, oh, these, you know, this wallet was sitting on like a pedestal and like, you know, kind of like this thing that people used to use. Because people aren't gonna have wallets anymore. This guy's walking around, he puts his 2 fingers on this reader and opens doors, buys things with it. He gets through the airport with it. It's just like he doesn't need a wallet anymore. Yeah, it was just a commercial I just watched yesterday, this morning or something. I'm sitting there going, what?
What's on his fingers?
Fingerprints.
It's
Yeah,
fingerprints.
exactly. Oh, it's fingerprints?
Fingerprints,
Yeah.
yeah. Fingerprints are unique to each individual, you
Yeah.
can't.
True. You
Yeah.
can't duplicate it, so
And
it's,
it's-
it's 100% as secured as you get.
Right, so these readers, people, you know, because businesses are savvy, they want to make their experience convenient. Yeah, what we just talked about, right? People like convenience, and, you know, people are gonna start demanding that, hey, you know, oh yeah, I go to this place because that's all I have to do is put my 2 fingers there, I don't even need my wallet. You know, or I forgot my wallet, or whatever, you know.
Right.
But I'm just saying, technology's on the march, man, this shit's gonna happen, it's happening now, and we just need to be on the front end.
Right.
Sarah, so there's a mainline emergency, Mission Viejo,
Cheryl Klein,
Cheryl Klein,
Sure, fine.
yeah.
Do I know her?
backing up into her driveway.
We've been there before, and she's had the same problem before.
Sounds like a jetting to me.
She's got a problem,
Okay,
and she needs a repair, is really what she needs.
right.
Roots, the roots.
Camera,
Yeah,
right,
and I think if my memory serves me correctly, this might be a townhome situation or something to that effect. But when it backs up into her house, and she's freaking out right now.
Okay, is the clean out in the garage? She has a
It's
clean out?
out in the driveway, is what it said.
Oh,
Yeah,
driveway?
yeah,
Okay, I was wondering.
yeah.
Just need
All right.
to check mine.
get it.
Alright guys,
Just
let's get it.
Yeah.